Oh, excuse me. Jesus, just when I came online, I started to yawn. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Air at Military Collectibles. So we're just waiting for people to start popping in. It is out of our normal viewing time, so we're just going to see how it is when people pop in and say hello. Um, Sorry I had to move the live from Friday to tonight. I had to stay at work basically on Friday, and I didn't have time. So that's what happened. Uh, Unfortunately. So I hope you're all keeping well. Um, just notifications going out there that we're out live, so people start popping in. Hopefully. So yeah. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, tonight we're going to talk about a few things. Tonight we're going to talk about um basically the cost of living crisis and the hobby. Because somebody asked me like, is the hobby affecting you? Or sorry, is the price of stuff sort of limiting what I'm doing at the minute in relation to collection, and it's not really, to tell you the truth, because I'd always be very shrewd on what I bought, and if I seen something that was a higher amount of money, or a lot of money, shall we say, I'd save up for it, and so I'd never just spend in one go. And the reason I was asked this is because um, somebody seen something and it's like that impulse buy um, of something, but you'd be very surprised how bargains that you're still finding out there. I got an SAS staple belt during the week for less than €30, an original one, and like that again, because it's SAS and because of what it is. If I do decide to sell it in the future, I'll probably get more. Um, so in relation to the actual hobby itself, I don't classify it as being silly spending money on uh, whatever that you're not going to get your money back. Um, God forbid, touch wood, something happens to me in the morning. I know for a fact that my family has stuff here at home that can be sold. Um, um, so yeah, so it can be expensive. It can be expensive, but as I said, if I know something happens to me or whatever, I know there's money here. Um, the only thing is I have everything catalogued of that I have in the collection and how much it's worth. Um, just so God forbid they don't get swindled out of somebody going, oh yeah, sure, that's only worth etc. Um, so yeah. So what are your thoughts on that actually? I think if you were starting from scratch for most periods, it would be expensive, and that's from Dave Seal. Um, Well, yeah, every hobby starting it can be expensive. It depends how deep you get into it and how quick you get into it. Simple one off the top of my head, guys who collect stamps. Like, oh, sorry, guys who collect stamps. Um, like, initially, it's not going to cost them that much by collecting stamps because they're collecting modern ones, local ones, things like that. Couple of pence, euro here and there, pound here and there. It's not till you start buying the rare ones and the expensive ones, and you sort of know your market or what you're starting to collect. That's when it can get expensive. Another way it can get expensive in the hobby, not just this hobby, but any hobby, is we'll say guys, oh, for whatever reason they get mad into buying First World War, uh, First World War stormtrooper equipment, and then 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, or whatever, they totally change their mind, and then they start collecting British Malayan equipment. So then their focus of the collecting changes, and I start selling on the First World War stuff, and start buying the Malayan stuff. That's what I know myself. Some guys, um, Jake Brown, evening buddy, hello, how are you? I know myself. Some guys, that's what they've done when their focus of thought on their collection has changed. They've sold off a certain aspect of their collection that they no longer find interesting anymore, or um, just not into it anymore, and they sell it to go toward. Oh, excuse me. They sell it to go towards the new aspect of whatever they're collecting. Danny Reese, my good mate Danny. Danny is a very, very big medal collector. Specific regiment, specific time zone, things like that. And what Danny will do is, if Danny sees medals for a cheap price or whatever, um, Danny will pick them up, buy them, do a bit of research on them, and then use that money that he's invested in that set of medals to evolve into an actual set that he wants. So if he'll sell them off, or he'll trade them, or something like that. Um, so we say if he like, and it's good in a way too as well. Um, it's good to actually start knowing people in the collecting world. So the likes of me, you know, with Danny, with Steve Davis from Living History UK, with Pete Neal, with Jake Brown, with Andrew Johnson, um, Jim Timber, Stan. That's just a couple of names of guys that I'd be fairly friendly with. Gary Hall is another one. Um, from Honor Rock Banner Museum in the North. They'd be guys that I'd be fairly friendly with, and fairly friendly with. That if I have something that I don't, for whatever reason, I'm not into it, or I don't need it anymore, or whatever, that I can trade with those guys, and they can trade with me. So yes, there are ways of doing it, things like that. Fisher, is that Fisher or Fisher? Fisher or Fisher? Hello, how are you? How are you keeping? I hope everyone as well. So yeah, so that's another way of doing starting a collection. Um, so yeah, so it answers to the question that I was asked about. The cost of living crisis, does it affect the hobby? Yes, I suppose it does, but it depends how much you want to affect it. We're all very shrewd now when it comes to money and bills and how expensive everything is. The hobby's no different. The stuff is getting more and more and more expensive. Stuff is getting rarer and rarer and rarer. Um, so yeah, you need to be shrewd. You need to know what you're doing first of all, and then you see how to go about spending your money on items. And I suppose I'd be more like, if I seen something now, um, like we're all adults, I suppose. Like everyone has savings, and everyone saves money for a rainy day and something like that. Um, Whereas if I seen something online, or something at an auction, or something at a car boot sale or whatever, I would think twice now about spending money on it. But not that I'm not going to. But I'd like, if I seen a Ulster Fusiliers, or sorry, Royal Ulster Regiment, or Royal Ulster Rifles, or Bray or Corbeen at a car boot sale, um, I'd pick it up. I before I would have bought it straight away, no matter the price, because I knew I'd have a use for it or something like that. But I have three or four of them now. and they all have different aspects of the collection. There's one on a mannequin, there's one in a frame, uh, things like that. So I wouldn't just go, yeah, Royal Ulster Rifles, I must get that, because I already have enough of them, so I'd have to look at it and go, do I really need it? That gets back to the guys then of people that just buying kit, massive amounts of kit, and not doing anything with it, and just having it for no reason, um, which is a different aspect. So yeah, there you go. Saying about selling on, that's probably what I'm going to be doing with my German kit. So there you go. There's a perfect example. So Jake, I don't know if many, if I've said it on the live stream or anything. Jake Brown there from the Jake Brown collection. He's formed his own reenactment group called Tigers on Patrol, and they represent the First Hampshire Regiment. Um, from all the way from, I think they're starting from World War Two, up top banner, but at the moment they're sort of doing up banner, but later on periods, but they will be eventually going all the way back, I believe. Um, so Jake has clicked German stuff, he's clicked First World War stuff, he's clicked lots of different aspects. But he's streamlined, he just mentioned it there, he's streamlining in his collection at the minute. So he's selling his German kit, um, and he started collecting specifically Hampshire Regiment equipment, um, from World War Two all the way to uh, Rock Banner, before they got amalgamated or after they got amalgamated. Um, Prince of Wales Regiment, I think they were amalgamated with. I'm not 100% sure. So that's a perfect example of somebody using their stuff to go all the way to using an aspect of the collection that they no longer use or no longer interested in, and selling it for something there. Um, that's what I said, Jake. 1st Battalion Royal Hampshire Regiment, 1948 till 1992. Yeah, so go check it out. They did their first gig there a couple of weeks back, and in fairness to them, they did up banner now. In fairness to them, they do look good. And there's a couple of faces involved with that group that you might recognise if you ever do come across them. How are you from Texas, you all? Hello, Andrew. How are you keeping? Jesus, what time is it in Texas? 5 hours. Are they 5 hours behind us? I'm not sure. Um, Amalgamated with Queen's to become the Prince of Wales Royal Regiment. Yeah, yeah. I think. I think I mentioned. I might have. I may have actually have a beret of that regiment. I don't have a Hampshire Regiment beret though. Cheers for shot shot. No problem. No problem at all. Um, so yeah, so that's the thing is, guys. The collections change. Collections move on. Collections get rejigged about the place. 6 hours. 6 hours behind. So it's like 1 o'clock in the day there now. Okay. Um. Yeah, things move on. Things change. Things. Oh. I suppose things go into a hybrid form, if that's the way you're looking at it, which can be interesting as well, I suppose, for people. Um, yeah. So, any questions or things you want to talk about on that? If not, we'll move on to the next subject. Um, and the next subject, pretty much, is where is my collection going? Um, I'm still saying at the if any of you don't know, I set up a buy and sell Facebook page, um, and there's a private chat group as well. But there is, if you look it up, Era Military Collectibles buy and sell Facebook page. There is actually a buy and sell Facebook page. So if any of you want to join it, you're more than welcome. And that's for everybody that wants to sell something, uh, another part of their kit. Now on eBay, I can't advertise anything, but I'm just saying that some items do end up on that website. um, um, so yeah, like I'm using my, I won't say outreach, my I suppose I am. Might influence a small bit. Um, to form this the other little community of a buy and sell, and let people trade and do what they want now. It's been lax the last few weeks, but there have been stuff up on it. Stuff has been bought off it. I know Andrew's gotten some stuff off it. Live in History UK put stuff up on it. So yeah, so it does work and it is getting used. So that's it, one aspect. Because somebody asked me about selling stuff in Ireland and how do we do it, things like that. And the problem with Ireland is we don't have trade fairs like you do in England. Like in England, you have Stoneleigh and you have Mulvan twice a year. You have actual specific military car boot sales. You have specific military shops, militaria shops, and surplus shops. Um, so there's obviously it's the size population, and I suppose the hobby is a bit stronger in England than it is in Ireland. Um, so like people were asking me, like, when you do have equipment, how do you sell it, or if you want to sell it, or things like that. So that's another way of doing it. That's the way I decided to do it. No, it's not. It's everything that's made on that site from me anyway is used for putting back into the collection. It's not just frivolously used. Um, and I'm not trying to make a profit out of it. I'm not doing it as a business. It's literally just keep ticking over. Um, Getting back to the first question, getting back to the first topic that we had already. I suppose that's not really the second topic as part of the first topic. But other question I was asked is um, the little mini documentaries I used to do on the areas of aspects of Ireland and things like that, and military historical sites in Ireland. Why haven't I stopped doing? Why haven't I kept doing them? Quite frankly, I was doing them, and people were enjoying them, and I was putting them up, and then I suppose I got pissed off a small bit. Uh, People were not watching them, and then there were nasty comments because I actually have a comment block on my well, not a comment block, a comment. What's the word I'm looking for? I can check comments on online. I suppose everyone can do it, but and I just got annoyed. People putting up comments like, oh, there was one comment that really annoyed me that sort of stopped me doing it. Was like, why am I doing the job for the tourist board? I was like, I'm not doing anyone a job for the tourist board. Like, just because you're trying to push your country and show local history, people that history don't know, um, how is that trying to get a job for the tourist board or trying to be something you're not, like, or whatever? So I was just like, yeah, do you know what? No, I'm just annoyed with it. But people have been asking me to do it again, do these local history sites, military collected ones or connected ones. Um, and I just don't know. I just don't know. Should I go back at it? Go back to them? Because they do take an awful lot of time and effort. Obviously, there's travel. There's sometimes you have to ask permission from people that own the sites and can liaise with them and talk to them and things like that. And then there's setup, there's filming, there's editing, there's research on the site. Um, and they do take an awful lot of work. And when you get comments like that, and you just get bugged from doing them. Like, well, what's the point? Just do a quicker, easier video. Gabe, hello, Gabe. How are you? How are you keeping? I was actually going to message you today, Gabe, because I need to get details off you. But we'll talk about that later. Just give me a bell either. I'm actually going back to work now tonight, so it'll probably be the morning or tomorrow evening. I'll give you a bell and we'll actually sit down and talk. I might actually give you a call and we'll just say hello, basically. So yeah, Yeah, the videos on the channel lately have been sort of annoying me. Well, I won't say they're annoying me, but I've been intrigued by them because like I've done videos where I've done massive amounts of research, massive amounts of work has gone into the video, and you think people are going to enjoy this, people are going to like this, and then all of a sudden, no one likes it, no one enjoys it. You're and it does. It kills the buzz. It kills the oh that was cool. I suppose this hobby, YouTube itself is a bit weird. It's a hobby itself, and like I like to personally for me, it's about the teaching and sharing the information and the knowledge it builds and the friendship and the atmosphere the it can make. So when you see a video and you go on, it doesn't even have to be a mad amount of views. Like it's getting 100 views or 200 views, and you're like going, yeah, that's 200 people now I'm after connecting with. That's making me feel good. Joe, I'm glad that they find my stuff interesting. I'm happy with what they do. You put up a video then, and it's like 2 hours later, 3 hours later, 4 hours later, 5 hours later, and you have 10 views on it, 20 views on it, and you're going. So that's all the lads that subscribe. No, I have 1,000 and something subscribers. That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. But I do care about it. I try to connect with everyone and try to talk to everyone. And I need to start getting back on top of my comment section. But like that again, it's time. If people email me, I do my best to try and answer the emails. I do answer all the emails. It might take me a while to get around to them, but I'm sort of cutting back on the comments a small bit. I need to get back on top of it. So yeah, so I do like that side of it, but I cannot figure it out because it's like okay, off banner stuff is always fun. People are finding it interesting, um, and then you do SA stuff. SA stuff is always being found interesting, and then you say, okay, look, people have been asking me questions about the mine detecting kit. We'll put it up there. Um, so you think, oh yeah, people have asked me about this. They'll enjoy it. They'll find this interesting or whatever. And you do a video on it. You go your way. You put a lot of work and effort into it, and you put up the video. And next thing, it doesn't do as well as you think, and you're going, okay, maybe not. So then what do I do? And it's sort of you're overlooking items in your collection because you're afraid that people aren't going to be interested in it. So you're going to do something else. Art. What's your email? If you go to most of my videos, nearly all of my videos, you will see a link or not a link, you'll see an email address, Shanahan Military in 1944 at uh, Yahoo, or is it at Outlook? Um, Jake, you're with your computer technology. If you can put up the actual email address there for people. But yeah, most of my videos, I actually do. That's another thing. Actually, is a lot of on all my videos, I put up a description of my videos, what they are, what we're talking about. Always on well, vast majority of my videos, there's a description of what the video is, and on top of that little description box, there's always the email for the channel. So yeah. So guys, we're coming up on half past. We always keep or we're coming up on a half an hour that we've been on. We always keep the Sunday live streams about 40 minutes, 50 minutes because we don't like to rabbit on because obviously it's Sunday evening and people want to be with their families, they want to relax and stuff before they get back to work um, on the Monday. So we don't. So if any of you have any, there we go. Shannon Military 1945 at Outlook.com. So if any of you have any questions, queries, or anything you want to ask me for the last 10, 15 minutes of this question air, live stream, whatever you want to call it, we'll sort it out. Um, But yeah, so video. There was a video today coming up, but because I moved the live stream to the Sunday, there was 1944 pattern bottles video coming up today. But because I moved the live stream from Friday to today, I've not put that video up yet, and it will be up tomorrow. So if any of you want to come and check out that video, which will be Monday, it'll be Monday the 5th of June, 1993. 2023. If any of you want to come and see that video, it'll be up tomorrow. That is the 44 pattern water bottle and a little bit about it. Then what else is coming up on the channel? So we're going back to some off banner stuff. I have been asked to do some Australian SAS stuff, so I'm waiting on an actual item to come in to finish an impression for doing an Australian video. So that'll be coming up. And things like that. Review of Gabe's Shield, that will be awesome. 100%. Absolute 100%. I will do that. I will do a review on Gabe's Shield. If any of you don't know what we're talking about, Gabriel, Gaby, he's there, Gabe. He is a guy who makes and can get you and can source you some rather fantastic off banner items. He's very young. He's a young lad. He's still in school, but he uses what he makes for his collection as well. So, guys, if I can't remember what his thing is on Facebook, or not on Facebook, on Instagram. He has a Instagram page where he advertises his stuff, but he actually makes, and a lot of the guys from that I know from Andrew's group and stuff like that purchased riot shields off him and got riot shields made by him. They're movie quality props, they're reproduction props, but they're fantastic. They're 100% copies off of an original, and they're actually so good that he marks them himself that they are reproductions, that they are not the original item. But yeah, definitely do a video on gaming stuff. If anybody wants to see it, it'll be coming up. It was actually in the pipeline. Believe it or not, Jack. So yeah. So has anyone else got anything to do? If not, we'll log off and say goodbye and see you all next week. We'll do it next week. We'll sign off and stuff like that. I don't. As I said, it's Sunday night. So Sunday night live streams, we always keep them a bit short, just because people are with their families and stuff on the Friday or the Sunday, and getting ready for work again on the Monday. So the old chat has gone quiet, so we'll call it quits there for that. As I said, the video that should have been up this evening, I didn't put it up. I purposely didn't put it up because of this live stream, because I don't want to bombard you with videos from me. It will be up on Monday. So guys, enjoy, have a great one, and stay well and keep safe with everyone. And I hope to see you all same time, Friday at 8 o'clock next week. And stay safe out there and enjoy yourselves and keep collecting, guys. Have a good one.